Hello, people. Welcome back to today's show. I hope you're keeping up well wherever you are. Let's look at the player ratings. Of course, it was Manchester City 5, Arsenal 0. The scoreline tells it all. Arsenal Football Club 5 nil. You could think that this is a team like Preston or something like that, but this is Arsenal, who have spent 129 million pounds. They're the biggest spenders in the EPL, but still results are not coming. Players that were brought in are not playing. So you could think that why did we spend at first place? Right? And so it was so shocking from Arsenal because looking at things, you could think that even the team selection was wrong right from the word go. So without much ado, let me go through this player ratings. In goal, Ban Leno, I think it was the better player of the match in terms of Arsenal. I'm going to give him a 6.5 because had it not for him, maybe Arsenal could have conceded a lot more, a lot more. And so for me, he was not at fault. Of course, maybe two of the goals he should have done better, but again, even with that, the kind of saves he made really saved Arsenal's face. So Bandeno 5, Cedric Suarez, I'm going to give him a 2. I think he was poor. Most of the goals came through his wing. This guy was brought in. We were told that he's a squad player, but he's the one starting games. He's been given a 4-year contract. The guy is not good enough. So 2 for Cedric. Callum Chambers, I'm going to give him a 3. He's not a centre back. Let's face it. If you want to if you want to bring Callum Chambers into the team, just put him on as a right back. But centre back, you're really asking too much of him, and you really saw what happened today. His unawareness defensively was so noticeable, and so it was so horrible. Poor performance from him. That is 3. Rob Holding, I'm going to give him a 4. I thought defensively he's the one maybe who tried to calm things, but again, Manchester City was all over him. He could not do much with the pressure. He was always inviting pressure, and we considered the number of goals that we did consider, which is 5 goals. And so Sead Kolasinac, I'm going to give him a 2. He's a left wing back. He's a left back, but surprised. He was supposed to leave the club. He featured in our last game against Birmingham. Was it Birmingham? Again today, he was our centre back. Then you could just ask. Mikel Arteta brought in Pablo Mari as a centre back. Pablo Mari was on the bench. Sead Kolasinac has never played as a centre back. Why put him in that position? I know he was not at fault, but you could tell through his defensive awareness that he was not up on it. So 2 for him, and I hope maybe he will not feature in any game from now henceforth because he's supposed to leave the club. Kieran Tierney, I'm going to give him a 4.5. We did not see much of his forward runs because he wanted to defend. He was criticized in the last Premier League game against Chelsea of going forward too much and leaving the defense line so exposed. And so I'm going to give him a 4.5 because most of the goals did not come from his wing. I think he tried to keep things tidy, but again, he could not influence the game in any way. And so Martin Odegaard, 3. This one also was so baffling from Mikel Arteta. Odegaard has never been a defensive midfielder. You're playing alongside Granit Xhaka. So that was the genesis of everything. Odegaard could not really influence anything. And so that was it. So it was nothing. The pressure from Manchester City was too much for him to bear. So that's why we surrendered all those goals. So Granit Xhaka, I'm going to give him a 1. simply because he did absolutely nothing. Second thing is because he has not learned from his past mistakes. The guy was supposed to be sold 15 million euros. Of course, it was an undervaluation from S Roma. But again, is he adding any value to the club? We have given him 2 more years in his contract, meaning that we have to content to seeing him week in, week out. And Mikel Arteta seems to like him. Look at the mistakes now he's done. Rushing all, doing all that he did today, another red card. This is only the third game of a season. So, and more will come. If Mikel Arteta is not going to learn from these things, I think Arsenal, right now we are the last in the Premier League table, number 20 out of 20. Can you imagine? Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, and so it's so sad. We cannot really continue like this. And then you could ask, why was Albert Sambi Lokonga, who has been like the only shining light in Arsenal team from the past 2 matches, why was he left out? Honestly, why was Sambi Lokonga left out? So that is a question that everybody is asking, and only Mikel Arteta is able to answer. The other player is Bukayo Saka, 4 out of 10. He's the only player that had a shot on target, and the only shot on target from Arsenal side throughout the entire game. Only one shot on target, and so he was of course substituted because he was the sacrifice. Having seen Granit Xhaka see red, and so you could feel so sad for him. The kid is trying, but again, he's not getting the service from the other players, and so 4 out of 10. Emil Smith Rowe, we're also going to give him 4 out of 10. He worked his socks up, but again, nothing he could have done. Tried to make runs, but they ended up to just nothing, and so 4 out of 10 for him. And Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, 3 out of 10. He did nothing. A few touches. He had like 17 touches the whole game, right? And so, of course, he lacks service. And Mikel Arteta has to find a way of playing this guy, because if Aubameyang is not scoring, if Aubameyang is not in the game, Arsenal is not in the game. That is right. And so, what about Mikel Arteta? I'm going to give him a 0. 0-0 because he's technically out of depth, and it is showing us that he's not only a rookie manager, but he's a manager who doesn't know what he's doing. Rookie managers learn very fast, but he has been so stagnant. He's not learning, and you could only imagine why. You can only ask yourself why Unai Emery was sacked, who was actually sacked for a lot less than what we are seeing from Mikel Arteta. And for me, I just wanted Arteta out, but I also thought maybe he could have turned some point last season, could have turned the season around. But again, he has shown that he's not the right man. He can find experience somewhere else, but Arsenal Football Club is not the place to do that. Last season, you could also say that last season Arsenal were voted the third defensive team. We had the third defensive record of the entire Premier League. But right now, we have conceded 10 goals. We have not scored any. 10 goals we have conceded, and we have not scored any goal. So team selection was very shambolic from Arteta. Lokonga should have started. Tavares should have started. Chambers, if you have to play Chambers, play him in his right position. Pablo Mari should have started instead of Kolasinac. And so, what else can you ask? What else can you ask from a team like this? So, it's poor. It's Arteta out. And then I do think that if Arsenal could get a new manager who can inspire the players we do have right now, these players can perform better without even any addition. But again, still we lack players. We lack a centre back, we lack a right back, we lack a central midfielder, and we lack an attacking midfielder in that respect. And so that's about for me. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think is the fate of Arsenal club on the hands of Mikel Arteta? I'll see you in the next one. Please make sure you hit the like button if you can. Please subscribe if you can, and I will talk to you much later. Thank you.